I have some friends coming over, and we're going to be doing some forging. There's a small group of us, and I wanted a second anvil to allow, multiple people to work at the same time. So I've had this old railroad track sitting out back and decided to go ahead and turn it into an anvil. So I just kind of wanted to show you what's possible relatively easily using a railroad track. You can cut this web using the bandsaw if you'll give the bandsaw a place to go. So drilled a 1-inch hole, here and there, and that way you can cut in, you can turn your blade, and I came up this way, and then from over here used bandsaw to cut across here, get up into this hole and turn and come and make the diagonal up. Over here on this end, because this was an end piece, it was pretty straightforward. Just come in from the end to the hole and then, cut across the flange to get up into the circle. From there, I stuck this in the milling machine and milled this surface flat. This is a piece of steel from a forklift tine. And this is some of the hardest, most clean ringing steel I've ever worked with. It was a royal pain to cut it and to clean it up. I probably spent an hour just cleaning up this end, getting this end flat. But once it's cleaned up, milled this surface flat, welded it on both sides, and then welded it across the root up here. Then this is an old splitting wedge that I sliced down the middle to make two pie-shaped halves that were, give or take an inch thick. And then ground this surface, at a bit of a bevel, at a bit of a peak, and then welded these two splitting wedge pieces on here, filled in the gap between them with weld, obviously, and then, welded down here and cleaned this all up. Since then, it's had 2 or 3 cycles of going back to weld to, fill in a gap and then come grind it off, and then fill in the gap and grind it off. And, it doesn't have to be perfect, but, I want it to be smooth-ish, so it's not leaving an imprint on whatever work, that you put on it. And, lastly, to mount it, I'll probably just drill this flange and mount through it with lag bolts. But just wanted to show it off. As you know, I already have an anvil that I use a lot, but I wanted a second anvil, to enable more people to work at the same time. So I just threw together this quick and dirty version.